Reason why so many Americans seem to be paying more, a lot more, for electricity these days.
This technology could change everything, not just how we power our homes, but how we power the world. Imagine a device that runs with no fuel, no smoke, no sound, and never turns off. A generator that doesn't just challenge the fossil fuel industry, it erases the need for it.
They go out and use independent power producers to generate electricity.
While most of us were busy paying electricity bills, a secretive startup claims to have tapped into a hidden force of nature, something silent, constant, infinite. They call it the Earth Engine, and if it's real, it could mark the beginning of a whole new era of energy, economy, and civilization itself. Let's dive in. The problem with the grid. For over a century, we've depended on a vast, interconnected web of wires to power our lives. The great American electrical grid, once a marvel of engineering, is now groaning under the weight of modern demand. As cities sprawl and digital life consumes more energy, this aging infrastructure is failing to keep up. Rolling blackouts, rising costs, and vulnerability to natural disasters have become the new normal. And the deeper problem? It's built on a foundation of fossil fuels. Most of our electricity still comes from burning coal, oil, or gas, processes that release carbon dioxide, drive climate change, and damage ecosystems. Even so-called clean energy, like solar and wind, has its limits. The sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow, and storing that intermittent energy remains expensive and inefficient. We've tried building better batteries, upgrading power lines, and expanding renewable farms, but at the end of the day, we're still locked into a system that depends on extraction, combustion, and central control. The cost of maintaining and distributing that energy keeps going up, so do the emissions. Meanwhile, billions of people around the world still don't have reliable access to electricity. The problem isn't just technical, it's systemic. So what if the solution isn't improving the grid, but bypassing it entirely? What if we didn't have to depend on power plants or pipelines? What if we could produce clean, constant energy exactly where it's needed, without burning anything, without releasing a single molecule of pollution? That's the radical idea behind the Earth Engine. Not just another clean energy solution, not another solar panel or wind turbine, but a new kind of power source, one that challenges everything we thought we knew about physics, energy, and the limits of our world. The birth of a radical idea. It began quietly, in a garage, not a lab. In 2015, a group of engineers and physicists walked away from their careers in mainstream energy. They were frustrated, not by failure, but by delay. Renewable tech was advancing too slowly. Bureaucracy, politics, and profit motives were dragging innovation into the mud. So they took a different path. They founded Quantum Energy Corporation with a single mission: to create a power source that breaks the rules. At the center of that mission was something they called the Earth Engine, not a battery, not a turbine, something else entirely. A device designed to draw energy from the world around us, not by burning or spinning anything, but by tapping into overlooked forces that already exist in nature. Quantum claims the Earth Engine uses a mix of plasma dynamics, magnetic resonance, and kinetic conversion to pull in energy from natural processes like atmospheric pressure, tidal motion, and underground vibrations. It's a wild claim, almost impossible to verify. No public blueprints, no academic papers, just glimpses, testimonies from engineers, whispers from insiders, and a few cryptic demonstration videos showing machines running without cords or fuel. To outsiders, it sounded like science fiction, but to the team at Quantum, it was the future. They feared corporate sabotage, so they worked in secret. Early prototypes were built in undisclosed locations across the US. Some reportedly still power entire test facilities off-grid, running 24/7 without stopping. No emissions, no fuel tanks, just constant power from a black box that no outsider has yet touched. Whether this is genius or a sophisticated illusion, one thing is certain: Quantum believes they've unlocked a new category of energy, something that could transform everything from homes and cities to ships, aircraft, and even space travel. And soon, they plan to show the world. how the Earth engine could work. No one outside quantum knows exactly how the Earth engine functions. That's part of the mystery and part of the controversy. The company guards its technology fiercely. No patents, no scientific publications, just a few vague claims about plasma physics, magnetism, and extracting energy from natural phenomena. Insiders suggest the Earth engine doesn't create energy, but converts it.
I'm going to go ahead and pull it back. I'm going to eject the Z drive from the Z drive plate so that you can see that it is not connected in any way to the Earth engine itself.
From forms we typically ignore or can't easily measure, they talk about tapping into the kinetic energy of the Earth's rotation, atmospheric shifts, pressure gradients, or even unknown subatomic fields. Some say it uses a resonant system, magnetic coils, and plasma chambers working in sync to harness energy that's already present in the environment. It sounds unbelievable, and maybe it is, but then again, so did the idea of radio waves before antennas existed, or electricity before we had bulbs. Every major energy shift has started with something we couldn't see. What makes the Earth engine different is its promise of consistency. It doesn't rely on the sun or wind. It doesn't need batteries. It supposedly runs day and night, in any weather, anywhere on the planet. And it does so without combustion, friction, or moving parts that wear out over time. If it works the way quantum claims, it could power a house, a hospital, or an entire city block without ever connecting to the grid. Maintenance would be minimal. Emissions would be zero. The only limit would be how many units we could build. Skeptics argue the laws of physics don't allow it. That perpetual motion is a myth, and energy must come from somewhere. But supporters say this isn't perpetual motion, it's just overlooked motion. And if that's true, the Earth engine might not just be another invention. It could be the beginning of an entirely new physics. The world, if it's real. If the Earth engine works as claimed, it won't just be a new gadget. It will be the most disruptive technology in modern history. Energy is the backbone of everything. Agriculture, industry, transportation, communication. Our entire civilization runs on power. And most of that power still comes from burning fossil fuels. Now imagine a world where electricity is free, clean, and constant, everywhere. No more gas stations, no more power plants, no more energy bills. Homes could run off a single unit tucked in the basement. Remote villages could leapfrog past the grid entirely. Deserts could bloom with solar-powered water desalination. Cities could be cooled and lit without straining a fragile system. And the ripple effects would be enormous. Transportation would transform. Electric cars would become limitless. Cargo ships, trains, and even planes could ditch fuel tanks and run on Earth engines instead.
As people plug in or turn on a hairdryer or whatever you might be running on an Earth engine.
Agriculture could move indoors, where vertical farms grow food with artificial light and climate control, independent of weather or soil. The developing world would benefit most. Nations that struggle with unreliable energy could suddenly leap ahead. With clean power available 24/7, schools could stay open, hospitals could function without interruption, and small businesses could thrive. Energy poverty, one of the biggest barriers to global progress, could disappear overnight. Then there's the climate. With no emissions, no heat, and no resource extraction, the Earth engine could help halt global warming in its tracks. We wouldn't need to compromise between progress and preservation. Some even dream bigger. Space travel, off-world colonies powered by Earth engines. With enough energy, we could reach farther, stay longer, and build faster than ever before. If this machine is real, it doesn't just change how we power our world. It changes what kind of world we can build. And what kind of future do we dare to imagine? The resistance and the risks. Not everyone wants the Earth engine to succeed. If it's real, it threatens to collapse trillion-dollar industries overnight. Oil, coal, natural gas, nuclear, and entire empires built on energy could become obsolete. That kind of shift doesn't happen quietly. And according to quantum insiders, it hasn't. Since the project's early days, the company claims to have faced serious pushback. Engineers are lured away by rival firms, online smear campaigns accusing them of pseudoscience, mysterious technical failures, even the unexplained deaths of key staff members. Some believe these are just coincidences, others aren't so sure. If you were a fossil fuel giant facing extinction, wouldn't you try to stop the thing that could end you? But the risks go beyond sabotage. There's the danger of hype outpacing reality. Many promising technologies have crumbled under the weight of public pressure and unrealistic expectations. If the Earth engine doesn't perform as promised, or if it's exposed as flawed or fake, the backlash could bury not just quantum, but the credibility of future innovators. There's also the question of regulation. Even if the tech is real, governments will want to control it. National security concerns, energy monopolies, legal battles over patents and safety standards. A world-changing device can also be a world-shaking weapon if misused. Quantum knows this. That's why they've been careful. Some say secretive. They've taken years to refine the design, scale prototypes, and prepare for public launch. The official reveal is set for 2025. Until then, the world waits, some with hope, some with fear, and some with a vested interest in making sure it never happens. Because if free energy is real, it doesn't just challenge industries, it challenges power itself. Now, first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you. The ticking clock to 2025. Quantum Energy Corporation has drawn a line in time, 2025. That's when they say the Earth engine will go public. No more secrecy, no more speculation, just a working device in front of the world. If it functions as claimed, this could be the most transformative moment in energy history. Until then, they're racing behind the scenes. Prototypes are being tested in private facilities. Partnerships are quietly forming. Production methods are being refined. And at the same time, they're navigating a landscape filled with legal hurdles, media doubt, and silent resistance. They've begun sharing glimpses, short videos, vague interviews, cryptic live streams showing machines running with no visible power source. It's just enough to fuel curiosity, but not enough to satisfy skeptics. The risk is obvious. If the 2025 reveal falls short, the entire project could collapse under its ambition. But Quantum believes timing is everything. They're not just preparing a product, they're preparing the world to see it with open eyes. Because in the end, this is bigger than one company or one machine. It's a test of belief, of readiness, of what kind of world we think is possible. And if this is real, truly real, then 2025 won't just be a launch. It'll be a turning point. The moment where science, society, and imagination finally collide. And what happens after that? It will depend on who's paying attention and who's willing to act. A glimpse into the future. Let's imagine the world just 5 years after the Earth engine became real. You wake up in a home that powers itself. No electricity bills, no blackouts. Your car in the driveway doesn't need charging stations, it runs directly off its internal engine. Entire neighborhoods are off-grid, yet fully powered. Skyscrapers hum with silent energy, drawn from machines the size of a washing machine. In rural Africa and South Asia, places once dark after sunset now glow with opportunity. Clean water flows from taps powered by energy-driven purification systems. Children study at night under steady lights. Local clinics run refrigeration for life-saving vaccines without ever depending on diesel. The economy transforms. With free and unlimited energy, manufacturing becomes cheaper. Products become more affordable. Small businesses flourish. Agriculture shifts indoors, with vertical farms growing crops year-round, in any climate. And the climate itself? CO2 levels begin to stabilize. We shut down coal plants, not by regulation, but because they're obsolete. The air gets cleaner. Forests begin to regrow. Innovation explodes. AI farms, electric planes, and permanent moon outposts all become possible. Energy, once our biggest limitation, fades into the background. Of course, it won't all be smooth. There will be pushback, politics, and transition pains. But if the Earth engine delivers even a fraction of what's promised, it could trigger a domino effect across every sector of society. A future once thought impossible might suddenly be within reach. And this time, we won't need to burn anything to get there. The weight of a dream. At the heart of this story is something deeper than technology. It's a belief, a stubborn, almost reckless hope that we don't have to accept the world as it is. That progress doesn't always have to be slow, expensive, or harmful. That one idea, in the hands of determined people, can rewrite the rules we've lived by for centuries. The Earth engine didn't come from a major university or a billion-dollar lab. It started with frustration, with a group of thinkers who asked, what if energy wasn't something we mined, bought, or rationed, but something that simply was, always there, waiting to be unlocked? That's the dream they've been chasing for a decade now. But dreams are fragile. They need time, space, and support to survive. They need people who are willing to fight for them, especially when the world laughs or looks away. And they need us, not just as observers, but as participants. Because if a real revolution is coming, it won't happen in silence. Quantum's team often talks about community, that this isn't just about a machine, but about the movement around it. Scientists, engineers, students, and everyday people are daring to believe that the future could be radically better. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe it's impossible. But what if they're right? What if this one machine could prove that clean, endless energy isn't a fantasy, but a choice? Then this isn't just about invention. It's about awakening and being ready when history knocks. The final barrier. For all its promise, the Earth engine still faces one massive, invisible wall: belief. Not just scientific proof or engineering specs, but public belief, mass acceptance, a shift in mindset. Because no matter how revolutionary a technology is, it won't change the world unless people are ready to let it. History is full of ideas that were dismissed before they were understood. The airplane, the internet, even electricity itself, each faced ridicule, fear, and fierce resistance until the evidence became impossible to ignore. Quantum Energy Corporation knows this. That's why 2025 isn't just a technical milestone, it's a psychological one. When that reveal comes, it won't just be about proving the Earth engine works. It'll be about showing people, with their own eyes, that something once thought impossible is real, tangible. But here's the catch. Even if the Earth engine functions exactly as promised, the world may still resist. Powerful industries could push back harder. Lawmakers might stall. The media could spin it into confusion or conspiracy. That's why support matters now. Not blind faith, but curiosity. A willingness to ask, to investigate, to demand answers, and to keep the conversation alive. Because this isn't just Quantum's moment, it could be ours, too. A chance to take part in something bigger than just another gadget. A chance to be present at the tipping point between the world we inherited and the world we choose to build next. That choice, in the end, won't be made in a lab. It will be made by us. The road ahead. So, what happens now? Quantum says they're almost ready. Final testing is underway. Live demos are planned, and behind the scenes, more Earth engine units are being built, quietly, steadily, far from the spotlight. But as the world inches closer to that 2025 reveal, two paths begin to form. One leads to skepticism, denial, and a quiet burial. A future where fossil fuels remain dominant, where clean energy remains a distant hope, and where the dream of transformation fades once again into myth. The other leads to something far more difficult and far more exciting. A slow, messy, unpredictable transition into a new era. One where the Earth engine, if proven real, doesn't just sit in a few elite labs, but becomes available to the world. That path will need courage, regulation, infrastructure, education, and above all, time. Quantum can't do that alone. They may have built the technology, but the future will be built by those who believe in what it can make possible. Engineers, teachers, lawmakers, dreamers, people who can look past headlines and noise and see a deeper signal rising underneath it all. The road ahead won't be easy, but if the Earth engine is real, the destination is worth everything. A world no longer chained to scarcity. A planet healed by design, not desperation. And a generation, ours, that dared to turn fiction into fact. The countdown has started. All that's left is to decide if we're going to walk that road, or watch it pass us by. This might be the beginning of something we've never seen before. A quiet shift with massive consequences. The Earth engine could be a fantasy, or the first true key to energy freedom. Either way, the next few years will reveal more than just a machine. They'll reveal what kind of future we're willing to fight for. Whether we choose comfort in the old or courage in the new. Whether we dismiss the unknown or dare to explore it. Because if the Earth engine is real, it won't just change the world. It will challenge everything we thought we knew. Stay curious. Let's see what happens.